What's up everyone, this is Dream here, and today we are doing Lost Wing. This game took me about 10 minutes to complete, although varying skill levels could see it to be at least an hour to complete. But hopefully we're going to get you that 10-minute completions by just following this guide. I'm really going to try to go in depth once we get to the final boss of the first level, which is essentially where everyone's stuck. First thing we wanted to do, as you can see, is just pop into the tutorial, so just load up. Leave everything on default and start up right away. Follow the on-screen prompts. We're going to be getting 2 achievements in the tutorial, one for completing the tutorial and the other one for destroying 5 objects with the bomb. So this is a full unedited run, and while we've got this downtime of just doing the tutorial and not having to talk about other achievements, I'm going to talk about the final boss and just kind of the severity on you don't really need the rest of this guide, the full playthrough guide. None of that. It's only about 8 minutes anyways, but I do suggest at least skipping ahead until around the 6-minute marker roughly and watching that final boss. That's where you're going to get the bombardier, so just hit B once you've passed the first 2. So I really highly suggest watching that final boss. It's kind of a melt or be melted. You want to be super aggressive with the final boss, and we're going to go into more detail once I actually get to that final boss. So now we just wanted to change the mode over to the normal campaign. There's only one level you've got unlocked, it's industrial something. And basically we're just gonna at first kind of get comfortable with the game, and I rush at the first checkpoint, but we also want to make sure that we take no damage on our way to the first checkpoint. And it's actually a little bit lengthy to get there, but don't worry, it's pretty easy. So kind of for this, like, you want to hold down your shoot button, but it uses charges, so the orbs that you picked up, kind of all went through this in the tutorial, but we're going to cover it anyways while we're waiting for an achievement to kind of show itself. Destroying 100 objects is one of them, and getting to 100,000, which is really easy. Most of the achievements in this game are super easy. You can see a huge dip in percentage unlocked once you look at that fight a boss, which is incorrect writing. It is actually defeat a boss. Getting to the boss will not be enough. So there we've got our points for 100k, and there's our first checkpoint. Took no damage, so we're also going to get that. Now there's also an achievement for losing a wing that can be gotten pretty easily by just kind of clipping one wing on any object, and that'll knock it off and that'll give you the achievement. But for the purposes of the fight with the boss and his difficulty, I would suggest trying to get to that boss without losing a life and without taking any risks. You also, at this point, you can kind of see that I'm not going as fast as because I've released the boost. This is now kind of out of my comfort zone, and I want to make sure that I get to the final boss with as many lives as I can. That power up I just missed, we're going to want to get it. We're going to get it right here. This is going to flip the world upside down. It's a real pain in the ass when you don't want it to happen, but we need it to happen at least once to get the inverted achievement. And there is a moment whereas I'm not sure if, I think it's going to happen in this video, but there's sometimes where the game kind of tells you there's an anomaly coming up, and it'll basically flip the world upside down on its own. But for some unknown reason, here it is right here, for some unknown reason that does not count for the achievement, even though it lasts longer than the power-up itself. So while everything's upside down, obviously your left and your right have been swapped as well. So make use of the left trigger or L2 if you're on PlayStation to slow down time, because I don't know, from my experience, I was pretty awful about flying upside down. The whole inversion at this kind of speed was just a little too much at some points for my brain to comprehend that I need to go a different direction, and then overthinking that and doing the opposite of what you should. If you get to do this as a perfect run and you get it in the 8 minutes by killing the final boss on your first run and everything, you'll likely have to go back in and fire 1,000 bullets. That doesn't take too long. So in a perfect run, that's probably going to be your last achievement. In the 2-run go, then it's not. It's going to be the final boss is your achievement, or your final achievement and your completion for the game. So after you beat the boss as well, the level kind of just goes on a continuous endless mode. So then you can try to get your destroy yourself achievement or trophy, as well as lose your wing. When you lose a wing, you won't be able to steer in that direction that the lost wing side is on very well. So it gets trying to get your wing back by a power up quite difficult because you might have to dodge something, and that puts you on the wrong side of the field, and then you just don't. Oh, here's a lost wing right here. You just don't have the time to get back over. So then, if you do lose a wing, try to do your best to stay in the middle, and that'll give you your best opportunity to get over to the left or the right. Within that limited time. So the final boss should be coming up here any second now, and like I described earlier, it's really a melt or be melted. So if you can get it on your first life, that's better because you've got 95 shots, and we can be as aggressive as possible. And that is what's going to make you beat this boss, is by being aggressive. Surviving is actually really bad in this fight. So basically what happens if this fight takes too long, he breaks up into this mode where he just spams a barrier on the left and right side so simultaneous that you can't even get a shot in. So as you can see it there's that one barrier. Now if this fight takes too long, he'll start spawning them left and right, back and forth, and you can't shoot through those barriers. So it really becomes important to make sure that you do not let the fight prolong at all. And it's just going to be jumping, shooting constantly to get that win. Watch it again if you have to. I know it was really quick, but if you try to do it strategically, if you try to live the long fight with him, it just goes so horrible so quickly. So now that we've got all that done, now I'm just kind of screwing around for a second, get some shots in, but I'm just going to forcibly kill myself there, run right into that, and get that achievement for crashing my ship. And then all I've got is the Fire 1000 and change the ship color. So what I'm going to do is die 2 more times because I want to make sure that my experience carries over by a game over. So once the game over comes up, then we get our stats and XP gets added to the pool, and we'll have to be level 2 to buy essentially our next ship color. So here we have our stats coming in, our points, we're going to level up, and then we're going to head back to the main menu. And even though it says there that we unlocked a new ship color, we actually have to apply that ship color to our ship to get the achievement. So we're just going to go start, skin, select it, and the achievement pops. Anyways, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hey there, if you liked this video, click the sleeping cat on the left. If you're an achievement/trophy hunter, click this cat on the top right. And if you're new to this channel, click the sticking out leg to subscribe.